Hi, my name is James Eddy and I'm a Bachelor of Journalism graduate from the University of Queensland in 2016. Throughout my degree, I've endeavoured to progress my skills, both through close consultation with mentors and tutors, but also hands-on work and internships, namely with Sky News and the Brisbane Broncos media team. Additional to that has been the hands-on nature of my degree, which has put me in great standing moving into a career in 2017. The following is a compilation of the work I've completed in 2016, taking a quick snapshot at a recent story I completed on the overdevelopment that's currently occurring in Brisbane, before making a segue straight into some of the work I've completed with the Brisbane Broncos throughout this year. I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you. One look at the Brisbane landscape, or the city skyline, and it's clear to see the development is ongoing and rapid. Not only offices for sale, but buildings, infrastructure from West End to Toowong. Here, two buildings across the road from one another, due to finish at the same time. In a recent report filed by the Washington Strategic Studies Association, it was found that Australia and its capital cities are potentially 6 weeks away from a debilitating housing collapse. The reasons for this are said to be many, however include of course the bank's reduction in foreign investment and the changing policies, and of course the overdevelopment that we are seeing, namely in Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. The ramifications of this are yet unknown, however it's said that it could have an influential effect on the housing market and could leave many in a state of debt. For Jack TV, this has been James Eddy in Brisbane. Hi guys, James here for Broncos TV. Now the Broncos are back in Brisbane this week after a tough trip to New Zealand last round, and we're kicking the weekend off early on Thursday evening with a game against the Canberra Raiders at Suncorp Stadium. Two exciting teams, massive names in both the forward packs and the back lines. So let's check up on what some of the major matchups are going to be on Thursday night. So let's take a look at two of the bigger men up front who are going to wreak absolute havoc on the opposition defence this Thursday night at Suncorp. Of course, Sammy Thaiday and the new recruit for the Raiders, Junior Paulo. Now, Sammy Thaiday, week in and week out, turns up and does his job to the best of his ability. He's an absolutely fantastic player who gets so involved in defence and racks up huge numbers nearly every week. Of course, his running game is also strong. It takes about 3 to 4 defenders to take him down. You can see that last weekend against the Warriors. There were 2 or 3 of him at all times. Of course, his defence is going to be of the utmost necessity playing against Junior Paulo this week. He ran straight over the top of Jamie Buhrer in his debut for the Raiders last weekend, and will be looking to impress again against the big name Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. Expect him to put on a few massive runs and hits. Sammy Thaiday is well up to the task though. Hi guys, James here for Broncos TV. It is game day, playing against the West Tigers tonight at Suncorp Stadium. You'd be forgiven for thinking that we lose a little bit of experience over the Origin period. Not the case when you have 8 internationals fronting up. Jordan Carr, who has of course played for New Zealand at that #1 position. Anthony Milford has played for Samoa, of course, and Jack Reed for England. Ben Hunt for Australia back in 2014. You do have Joel from Gowie, who jumped on the puck for Tonga, and Adam Blair, Alex Glenn and Cody Nikorima, who are also Kiwis. Now this wealth of experience is going to be of the utmost importance tonight when we take on the West Tigers, especially with their 3 youngsters fronting up in Jaden Sewer, Jai Arrow and Tavita Pangai Jr. Now these boys have been in incredible form in the Q Cup and the under-20s, of course warranting their selection in the absences of a few others. They'll be out to impress tonight and put their best foot forward for their Broncos team. It's going to be fantastic for the Broncos to see them get out there. We can't wait, and make sure you're there to support our boys as we get out against the West Tigers. Hi guys, James here for Broncos TV. Now of course it is round 17 and the Broncos are heading back home to Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium on Friday evening to come up against a fantastic outfit in Craig Bellamy's Melbourne Storm. They've been in fantastic form this season. Of course, we're coming off a tough loss against the Bulldogs last weekend down in Sydney, but that's just something we're going to have to build upon and move forward to this weekend when we come up against the Melbourne Storm. So let's check up on what some of the major matchups are going to be come Friday night. Well, we'll start up front with the battle of the big men this Friday night. Of course, they are compatriots in their international teams and of course are good friends and offload machines as well in the NRL. They are Adam Blair and Jesse Bromwich. Now when these two come together on Friday night, it'll be two of the informed front rowers coming up against each other. They are fantastic at getting offloads away. They've proven that week in and week out, especially last week, both coming up with just over 3 offloads. Of course, that allows for second phase play and the opportunities for their outside backs and of course the speedy forwards around the ruck there. So look for these two to come together. They'll play plenty of minutes on the weekend. They're going to put their teams on the front foot and try and continue that momentum for the remainder of the game. Now we'll take a look at a position on the park which is going to be of absolute paramount importance come Friday evening. Of course, that is the position of hooker, which is going to be filled by the returning Andrew McCulloch for the Broncos and Cameron Smith for the Melbourne Storm. Andrew McCulloch is an absolute stalwart in defence in the middle of the park there. He gets to a massive workload week in and week out and rarely misses tackles for the Broncos team. They're going to be looking forward to having him back, and as he's spoken about throughout the week, he's also ready. Cameron Smith has been in fantastic form. Watch out for these two to have some great dummy half passes to really scoot around the ruck come Friday evening, try and put a lot of pressure on those big forwards from each team, but these two are going to be of the utmost importance and really set a platform for the way their teams go come Friday night. Guys, those are our major matchups for this Friday night's monumental clash against the Melbourne Storm at Suncorp Stadium. Some huge names in either team, so make sure you're there to support our boys and help them get across the line. If you do need tickets, jump onto ticketek.com.au or just come and have a chat with us at the gates. And of course, we will be back on the 22nd of July facing off against the Penrith Panthers at Suncorp Stadium. Make sure you're there and showing up to support our boys as we do get into the business end of this season. As always, and of course, finally, up the mighty Broncos.